For years, Meghan Markle has cultivated an image of intellectual ambition, presenting herself as a determined student who rose through hard work and talent to a successful career in acting, philanthropy, and eventually, life as the Duchess of Sussex. Known to have been a straight-A student, Meghan's academic and professional pursuits reflect her belief in the power of knowledge and dedication. However, a lesser-known episode in her life tells a different story, one where her aspirations were halted by a single exam, the Foreign Service Officer Test, a rigorous test meant for U.S. diplomats. This exam came after an internship she secured at the American Embassy in Buenos Aires, Argentina, where she worked as a junior press officer, a role that made her feel closer than ever to a potential career in diplomacy. Despite her top grades and powerful backing, Meghan was met with a hurdle she couldn't overcome. The experience is largely downplayed in the Duchess's narrative, but it left an undeniable mark on her path and seems to have steered her away from a diplomatic career. This video takes a closer look at Meghan's journey from academic excellence to an unexpected roadblock, her time in Argentina, and the lingering question: could you pass the exam that kept Meghan Markle from her diplomatic dreams? Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Academic roots, the smart one. Meghan Markle's academic story began in Los Angeles, where she attended the private, all-girls Immaculate Heart High School, a prestigious Catholic institution that encourages young women to be independent, ambitious, and socially conscious. Known for her focus and drive, Meghan's time at Immaculate Heart became the foundation for what she hoped would be a successful career rooted in meaningful work. She prided herself on her intellect, often referring to herself as the smart one in her circle of friends and family. Following her high school graduation, Meghan continued to build her educational portfolio at Northwestern University in Illinois, a top-rated institution known for its rigorous programs. Meghan majored in theater and international studies, a choice that allowed her to combine her creative side with her interest in global affairs. But Northwestern wasn't just a stepping stone toward acting. It was also where her interest in diplomacy took shape. The internship that launched a dream. While studying at Northwestern, Meghan's career aspirations took a significant turn when her father, Thomas Markle, asked his brother Mike, who had connections within the U.S. government, to help her secure an internship at the U.S. Embassy in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Mike, whose role in the government came with valuable connections, reached out on Meghan's behalf, successfully helping her land the highly coveted role of a junior press officer. The American Embassy in Buenos Aires became a fascinating, inspiring environment for Meghan. As she worked alongside professionals managing U.S. diplomatic interests in South America, she found herself drawn to a future in foreign service. Her responsibilities, though entry-level, gave her a sense of the complexities involved in international relations. From preparing briefing notes to assisting in press-related tasks, Meghan's experience in Argentina was designed to give her insight into the world of diplomacy and international affairs. Her passion for diplomacy grew stronger during her time in Argentina, and Meghan quickly began to envision a future as a U.S. diplomat. She decided to take the next logical step for someone considering a career in foreign service: the Foreign Service Officer Test, a requirement for anyone aiming to join the U.S. Department of State as a diplomat. The Foreign Service Officer Test, a hurdle too high. The Foreign Service Officer Test, FSOT, is notoriously challenging. Designed to assess a candidate's knowledge of world events, politics, U.S. history, culture, geography, and math, it's a formidable barrier for anyone interested in representing the U.S. abroad. It includes questions on everything from economics and management theory to mathematics and cultural issues. When Meghan took the exam, she believed her background and recent experience in Argentina would be enough to help her succeed. But the FSOT is more than just a knowledge test. It evaluates a candidate's ability to think critically under pressure and approach complex issues from various perspectives. Unfortunately, despite her academic successes and determination, Meghan did not pass the test. This setback served as a humbling experience, showing her that even the brightest students could find themselves unable to conquer every challenge. In her 2022 Netflix documentary, Meghan often emphasized her self-perception as someone who excelled in academics and always strived to achieve the highest standards. However, This experience, failing an exam she likely assumed she could master, was a rare moment of vulnerability, one that possibly reshaped her view on where she belonged professionally. Repercussions of the exam, redirection and reflection. Following her disappointment with the Foreign Service Officer test, Meghan decided to make the best of her situation by pursuing other avenues. She chose to travel to Madrid, Spain, where she enrolled in a 6-week program to improve her Spanish, a skill she knew would be advantageous if she decided to give diplomacy another try. The time she spent immersing herself in Spanish language and culture added to her experiences, enriching her worldview and providing her with stories that would later dazzle her friends back at Northwestern. Despite the setback, Meghan reframed her narrative, turning her experiences abroad into highlights of her young adult life. When she returned to Northwestern, she spoke warmly of her time in Buenos Aires and Madrid, impressing her peers with stories of her travels, the people she met, and her brush with the world of diplomacy. But in her heart, it seemed, she had already moved on from that path. A career in the spotlight. Meghan's inability to pass the FSOT may have shaped her subsequent choices. Returning to the United States and refocusing on her career prospects, she leaned more toward the world of acting. Her father, Thomas Markle, once again played a pivotal role by helping her secure her first acting role on the American soap opera General Hospital. This small opportunity sparked a new chapter, which led her to pursue acting seriously and eventually brought her to her breakout role in the legal drama Suits. While Meghan's career in Hollywood flourished, her connection with her uncle Mike faded. He had once been instrumental in helping her gain a foothold in the diplomatic world. But by the time she became a prominent public figure and married Prince Harry, Mike Markle was no longer a part of her life. Reflecting on her rise to prominence, Mike expressed feelings of being left behind, sharing his disappointment that Meghan seemed to have distanced herself from the family members who had supported her early ambitions. A lingering question: could you pass the FSOT? The Foreign Service Officer test remains a challenging exam for any aspiring diplomat. The U.S. State Department has made practice tests available to the public, allowing anyone curious to gauge their chances. The practice test includes questions that measure knowledge across a broad range of subjects, with categories including world history, economics, U.S. government structure, and even cultural awareness. The question that lingers for many is whether they would fare any better than Meghan. It's a rigorous process meant to screen out all but the most qualified and adaptable candidates. For Meghan, the FSOT became a symbol of the limitations even a high achiever might face. And for readers, it raises an intriguing challenge. Could you pass the test that kept Meghan from her diplomatic dreams? Meghan Markle's story is one of many twists and turns, with a journey through academics, acting, and royalty marking distinct chapters in her life. Her early ambition for a career in diplomacy reflects a side of her that few fully appreciate. The driven, intellectual student who once dreamed of making a mark on the world in a different way. Though she did not succeed in the FSOT, Meghan has certainly left her impact through other avenues, carving out a life in the public eye that brings with it its own set of diplomatic challenges. Her journey from aspiring diplomat to Duchess of Sussex, however, serves as a reminder that life often takes unexpected turns, steering even the most ambitious people away from their initial paths. The exam she couldn't pass. Mark.